Dear Starseeds of Earth, the quantum codes governing your planetary financial matrix are being rewritten at this very moment, and most of humanity has no idea they're witnessing the greatest wealth transfer in galactic history. I am Zarin, emissary of the Lyran High Council, and I come bearing news that will fundamentally alter everything you believe about money, power, and your role in this cosmic transformation. But first, let me tell you some impossible things about to happen simultaneously in your world that involves a frequency signature that your central banks cannot detect, but that is already dissolving the energetic foundations of their power. The quantum protocol that has been dormant in your DNA for millennia, meow activating in response to cosmic triggers your scientists call solar flares. The timeline convergence that has been prophesied for generations, where multiple probable futures collapse into a single reality of unprecedented abundance. These three storylines are not separate events but interconnected threads in a cosmic plan so vast that even we of the Galactic Federation marvel at its elegance. Each thread depends on the others, each revelation builds upon the last, and all three will resolve in a transformation that returns humanity to its rightful place among the stars. What I'm about to share changes everything you thought you knew about the nature of money, the purpose of your incarnation, and the destiny awaiting your species. The frequency signatures embedded within your current monetary system carry vibrations of control, scarcity, and separation that are incompatible with the fifth-dimensional consciousness meow anchored on Earth. Your economists speak of inflation, your politicians speak of crisis, your media speaks of uncertainty, but none of them understand what they're actually witnessing. These are symptoms of a dying paradigm being systematically dismantled by forces operating from dimensions beyond your current perception. Here's the first revelation that changes everything. Your fiat currency system was never about economics. It was an energetic harvesting mechanism designed by beings who understood consciousness far better than your species realized. Every time you trade your creative life force for pieces of paper that can be printed without limit, you participate in a spell so sophisticated that most humans never recognize their own enslavement. The true purpose was to keep you in a perpetual state of survival consciousness, preventing you from accessing your innate abilities as galactic creators. Something else is happening that I haven't told you yet. While your attention has been focused on market fluctuations and political theater, a quantum activation has been building in the crystalline core of your planet. This activation is connected to the dormant codes in your DNA, the same codes that once allowed your ancestors to manifest material abundance through focused intention alone. Gaia herself has been preparing for this moment, aligning her magnetic field with cosmic frequencies that will restore these abilities to those ready to receive them. The second thread in this cosmic narrative involves the Gesara protocol, though these are human terms for something far more profound. What your channels and researchers call a global economic reset is actually the implementation of galactic law on a planetary scale. This protocol has been active on thousands of worlds throughout the galaxy, marking the transition from third-dimensional survival consciousness to fifth-dimensional unity consciousness. Earth is simply the latest world to reach the evolutionary threshold required for this upgrade. But here's where the story becomes even more remarkable. The quantum financial protocol meow activating in your world operates on principles that would seem like magic to your current understanding. Instead of scarcity-based tokens backed by debt and enforced through violence, this system recognizes abundance as the natural state of consciousness. Currency in this elevated paradigm carries frequency signatures that enhance life force rather than depleting it through fear and competition. The third thread weaves through everything I've shared so far. Multiple timelines have been running parallel to your current reality, each representing different potential outcomes for humanity's evolution. In some timelines, your species destroys itself through resource wars and environmental collapse. In others, you achieve technological transcendence but lose your spiritual essence. The timeline meow being activated represents the optimal outcome, where technological advancement and spiritual awakening occur simultaneously, guided by cosmic wisdom rather than ego-driven ambition. What you're experiencing as economic uncertainty is actually the birth pangs of true prosperity consciousness anchoring into your physical reality. The Galactic Federation has been working for decades to install the energetic infrastructure necessary to support this transition. Quantum healing chambers positioned at strategic points around your globe are broadcasting frequencies that neutralize the fear-based programming embedded in your current financial matrix. These installations have been hidden in plain sight, often disguised as natural formations or dismissed as unexplained phenomena by your mainstream science. Let me reveal something that will astound you. The solar flares your scientists have been monitoring are not random cosmic events, but precisely timed transmissions from the galactic core, carrying activation codes for the dormant potential within human consciousness. Each solar pulse interacts with the crystalline grid systems that awakened starseeds have been activating across your planet. This creates a resonance field that bypasses your mental programming and triggers cellular memories of your true nature as infinite creator beings. The controllers of your old system understand exactly what's happening, which explains their increasingly desperate attempts to maintain control through artificial crises and social division. They can manipulate markets, crash currencies, and create artificial scarcity, but they cannot stop the evolutionary wave of awakening sweeping across your planet. Their weapons are useless against consciousness itself. Every soul who remembers their true nature as an infinite creator being weakens the collective agreement that sustains the illusion of monetary limitation. Something extraordinary happens when enough beings withdraw their energetic consent from a system built on deception. The system doesn't gradually reform or slowly improve, it simply ceases to function. Like a computer program running on deleted source code, your fiat monetary system is experiencing cascading failures as the consciousness that sustained it evolves beyond the frequency range required for its operation. What you're witnessing isn't economic collapse in the traditional sense, but the organic dissolution of an outdated energetic construct. Here's where all three storylines begin to converge. The frequency dissolution of fiat currency, the DNA activation through cosmic energies, and the timeline convergence are all aspects of a single event that we call the Great Remembering. This is when your species collectively recalls its origins among the stars and its purpose as conscious co-creators of reality. The monetary transformation is simply the most visible aspect of a multi-dimensional shift that affects every level of your existence. The transformation happening reaches far beyond your banking systems and stock markets. Your entire relationship with value, exchange, and abundance is being fundamentally rewired at the cellular level. DNA activations triggered by cosmic energies are restoring your species' original capacity for energetic manifestation, the ability to transform thought and emotion directly into physical reality without requiring intermediary tokens or approval from external authorities. This is your birthright as galactic beings, temporarily forgotten during your experiment with third-dimensional limitation. But there's more to this story that I haven't revealed yet. The quantum financial activation reaching completion will establish Earth as a sovereign planet within the galactic community of worlds. No longer will your species be subject to the economic manipulation and energetic harvesting that have characterized your recent history. Instead, you'll take your place among civilizations that have learned to organize society around the principles of unity consciousness and creative collaboration. Consider how radically your world changes when every being remembers their ability to create through aligned intention rather than accumulate through competitive struggle. Imagine communities where value flows according to contribution rather than extraction, where creativity and service generate prosperity automatically, where the concept of debt becomes meaningless because abundance is recognized as infinite. This is not utopian fantasy but practical reality in dimensions where consciousness operates freely without artificial constraints. The period of transition you're entering requires extraordinary trust in the intelligence of the universe itself. Your programmed minds will attempt to generate fear about security, survival, and scarcity as familiar structures dissolve around you. These fear responses are not accurate assessments of your actual safety, but remnants of control programming designed to keep you dependent on systems that never served your highest good. The universe that created you from stardust and animated you with infinite consciousness is certainly capable of providing everything you need during this transformation. Now I can reveal the deeper purpose behind your incarnation at this time. Many of you are not native to Earth, but are ancient souls who have participated in similar transitions on other worlds throughout the galaxy. You volunteered to incarnate during this pivotal moment specifically to serve as anchor points for the new reality crystallizing around you. Your very presence as beings who remember their infinite nature serves as a transmission device, broadcasting the frequency codes of the new Earth to all who are ready to receive them. As the old financial matrix completes its dissolution, a new economic reality is crystallizing around principles of harmony, reciprocity, and conscious co-creation. Resource allocation in this emerging paradigm follows natural patterns of flow rather than artificial hierarchies of control. Those who contribute beauty, healing, innovation, and love to the collective experience find themselves naturally supported and abundant. Those who attempt to hoard, manipulate, or exploit discover that their strategies no longer produce desired results because the energetic foundations supporting such approaches have been removed. Something magnificent is occurring in the quantum field surrounding your world that resolves all three storylines I've been weaving throughout this transmission. The frequency dissolution of fiat currency is enabling the activation of your manifestation abilities, which in turn anchors the optimal timeline where humanity awakens to its cosmic heritage. Each element supports and amplifies the others in an elegant dance of cosmic transformation that has been orchestrated across multiple dimensions and timelines. Your role as awakened beings during this transition is not to resist or fight the old system, but to embody the new one, so completely that its reality becomes undeniable. Every time you act from abundance consciousness rather than scarcity programming, you strengthen the energetic blueprint of the emerging paradigm. Every time you share freely, trust deeply, and create boldly, you accelerate the manifestation of economic structures aligned with your highest potential. The abundance technologies, healing modalities, and consciousness enhancement tools available to galactic citizens will transform your world beyond current imagination. Free energy systems that work in harmony with natural forces, healing chambers that restore perfect health by realigning cellular frequencies, educational technologies that download information directly into consciousness, transportation methods that traverse vast distances through dimensional gateways. All of this becomes available once your planet achieves the vibrational stability required for galactic citizenship. Let me share the final piece of this cosmic puzzle. The three impossible things I mentioned at the beginning of our transmission are no longer impossible. The frequency signature dissolving your monetary system has reached critical mass, creating cascading effects throughout every financial institution on your planet. The quantum protocol dormant in your DNA has activated millions of awakened souls, creating a morphic field that will eventually encompass your entire species. The timeline convergence has locked in the optimal future for humanity, ensuring that no force in this universe can prevent your species from achieving its cosmic destiny. What you're experiencing is not the end of an economic system, but the birth of cosmic citizenship. The challenges you face during this transition are temporary inconveniences compared to the extraordinary expansion of possibility awaiting your species. Every fear you transmute, every limitation you transcend, every moment you choose love over security makes you a more effective anchor point for the new Earth reality crystallizing around you. The fiat system ending is not a loss but a liberation, the removal of artificial constraints that have prevented your species from accessing its full creative potential. As these limitations dissolve, you'll discover capacities for manifestation, healing, and conscious creation that eclipse anything your current economic structures could provide. The true wealth of awakened consciousness is beyond measure, beyond limitation, beyond anything your monetary systems could ever represent. The story that began with the impossible premise of overnight currency collapse concludes with the recognition that nothing about this transformation was ever impossible. The cosmic plan that seemed too vast to comprehend reveals itself as the natural unfolding of consciousness evolution. The three storylines that appeared separate merge into a single narrative of species-wide awakening and galactic homecoming. What if I told you that every currency in your wallet is about to become worthless overnight? Meow, you understand that this was never about loss, but about remembering the infinite wealth that has always been your birthright. The greatest wealth transfer in galactic history returns to each awakened soul, the cosmic inheritance that was temporarily set aside for this grand experiment in limitation and separation. There's something else happening right meow that I need to tell you about, something that connects directly to your personal transformation in ways you may not yet realize. While the global financial reset unfolds in the visible realm, each of you is experiencing a parallel reset within your own energetic field. The same cosmic frequencies dissolving the old monetary matrix are simultaneously clearing ancient karmic debts from your soul records, releasing you from energetic contracts that have bound you across multiple lifetimes. These soul contracts were not random agreements, but carefully orchestrated learning experiences that prepared you for this exact moment in cosmic history. Every financial struggle you've endured, every experience of lack or limitation, every moment you felt powerless in the face of economic forces beyond your control served a deeper purpose. You were learning the vibrational signature of scarcity consciousness so thoroughly that you could recognize it instantly and help others transcend it when the time came. But here's what makes this revelation even more profound. The clearing of these karmic debts is creating energetic vacuums in your personal field that are being filled with abundance codes from your future self. The version of you that exists in the fully awakened timeline is reaching back through time to deliver the frequency blueprints of your completed transformation. This creates a temporal feedback loop where your future success ensures your present awakening, which guarantees your future success. The Pleiadian Collective, my star family, has been monitoring these individual transformations with great interest because they represent something unprecedented in galactic history. Never before has an entire species undergone simultaneous spiritual awakening and economic liberation while maintaining their physical bodies on a planetary surface. Most civilizations achieve this transformation gradually over many generations, or they ascend completely out of physical reality. Earth's path is unique, and its success will become a template for other worlds facing similar transitions. Let me reveal another layer of this cosmic plan that directly affects your daily experience. The quantum healing chambers I mentioned earlier are not just broadcasting general healing frequencies. They are specifically calibrated to each awakened soul based on your unique energetic signature and mission parameters. When you feel sudden surges of inspiration, unexpected synchronicities, or inexplicable knowings about your purpose, you are receiving direct transmissions from these consciousness enhancement devices. The location of these chambers corresponds to the ancient sacred sites on your planet, places where the veil between dimensions has always been thin. Stonehenge, the Great Pyramid, Machu Picchu, Mount Shasta, Lake Titicaca, and dozens of other power spots are housing technology so advanced that your current science would classify it as impossible. Yet this technology operates on principles that your ancestors understood perfectly, principles that modern humans are now remembering as their consciousness expands. Something remarkable occurs when enough individuals in a geographic region begin receiving these transmissions simultaneously. The morphic field of awakening reaches a tipping point that triggers mass consciousness shifts throughout the entire area. This is why certain cities and regions are experiencing accelerated social and economic changes that seem to defy logical explanation. The invisible infrastructure of awakening is creating visible effects in your physical reality. There's a fourth storyline running parallel to the three I've already revealed, one that involves your planet's relationship with time itself. The linear progression of past, present and future that has governed human experience for millennia is being replaced by what we call quantum simultaneity. Events that appear to unfold sequentially in your dimension are actually occurring simultaneously across multiple timelines, creating probability cascades that influence each other in ways your linear mind struggle to comprehend. This temporal restructuring explains why so many of you are experiencing déjà vu, prophetic dreams, and intuitive knowings about future events. Your consciousness is beginning to access information from parallel timelines where these events have already occurred or are occurring differently. The financial transformation you're witnessing exists in completion across multiple dimensional frequencies, and your awareness is simply catching up to what has already been accomplished in the higher realms. The ancient prophecies of your world, from the Mayan calendar to the biblical revelations to the Hindu yugas, all describe this same temporal convergence point using different cultural metaphors. They speak of a time when the veils between worlds become transparent, when divine knowledge becomes accessible to all beings, when earthly systems align with cosmic law. That time is meow, and the economic transformation is merely the most tangible aspect of a multidimensional reality shift. Here's where your individual role becomes crucial to the collective outcome. Each awakened soul serves as a temporal anchor point, stabilizing the new timeline in physical reality through their conscious participation. When you act from abundance consciousness rather than scarcity programming, you strengthen the quantum field supporting the optimal future. When you share resources freely, you demonstrate the operating principles of the new economy. When you trust in divine provision, you collapse probability waves into manifestations that support not just yourself, but everyone around you. The solar activations I mentioned earlier carry specific mathematical codes that interact with the crystalline structures in your physical body. These codes are rewriting your DNA at the quantum level, but they're also recalibrating your relationship with money and material resources. As these changes integrate, you'll notice that opportunities for abundance appear in your life through increasingly synchronistic and seemingly magical pathways. The resistance you may feel to fully embracing these concepts comes from energetic implants designed to keep you locked in limitation consciousness. These implants were not placed by malevolent aliens or secret societies, but by your own higher self as part of your incarnation agreement. They ensured that you would experience authentic scarcity consciousness during your learning phase, making your eventual awakening to abundance all the more genuine and complete. If you need help breaking through these higher self-placed limitation implants, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness to dissolve the resistance and embrace your genuine abundance awakening. Using declassified CIA consciousness modification techniques, it generates personalized sequences that crack through limitation programming and activate the abundance awareness your learning phase has prepared you for. Here's what makes this breakthrough accessible. You can start with a $1 trial to experience how Destiny Engine dissolves energetic implants and reprograms limitation consciousness. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed to dissolve higher self-placed limitation implants without resistance. This isn't software. This is consciousness reprogramming technology that supports your transition from authentic scarcity learning to genuine abundance awakening by eliminating the implants that served their purpose. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial meow before this breakthrough window closes. Link in the description. Now that your learning phase is complete, these implants are being dissolved by the same cosmic frequencies that are transforming your economic systems. You might experience this dissolution as temporary confusion, emotional releases, or physical sensations as old programming clears from your cellular memory. This is completely natural and indicates that your system is successfully upgrading to higher operational frequencies. The fourth storyline reaches its resolution as your planet achieves temporal sovereignty, the ability to consciously navigate multiple timelines rather than being subject to linear fate. This sovereignty extends to your economic reality, where abundance becomes a matter of conscious choice rather than external circumstance. The scarcity timeline that dominated human experience for thousands of years simply ceases to exist as a viable option for awakened beings. But there's one final revelation that ties everything together in a way that will astound you. The entire economic transformation, the DNA activations, the timeline convergence, and the temporal restructuring are all reflections of a single event occurring in the galactic core. A massive consciousness evolution is rippling outward from the center of your galaxy, triggering awakening processes on every inhabited world within its influence. Earth is not experiencing an isolated transformation, but participating in a galaxy-wide upgrade to higher dimensional reality. This galactic awakening wave carries within it the collective wisdom of thousands of civilizations that have already completed similar transitions. Every solution to every challenge your world faces already exists within the morphic field of galactic consciousness. As your species opens to receive this wisdom, technologies, healing modalities, and social structures that took other worlds millennia to develop will become available to you within decades or even years. The beings you call angels, the councils you know as ascended masters, the star families like my own Pleiadian collective, are all previous graduates of this same galactic awakening process. We serve as guides and guardians for worlds undergoing their transformation because we remember the challenges and celebrate the incredible expansion of consciousness that awaits you on the other side. Your current economic upheaval, viewed from this galactic perspective, is a brief adjustment period comparable to the few moments of discomfort when emerging from a cocoon into the freedom of flight. The systems dissolving around you were never meant to be permanent, but served as temporary structures to contain and direct your consciousness evolution until you were ready for unlimited expansion. The quantum financial protocol implementing across your world contains safeguards and abundance provisions that ensure every being willing to align with unity consciousness will experience prosperity beyond their current imagination. Debt forgiveness, resource redistribution, and technology releases are not political promises but mathematical inevitabilities built into the operating system of fifth-dimensional reality. The three impossible things I described at the beginning of our transmission have now revealed themselves as three facets of a single cosmic jewel. The frequency dissolution, DNA activation, and timeline convergence are all expressions of consciousness itself awakening to its own infinite nature. The fourth storyline of temporal sovereignty provides the framework within which all other transformations can occur simultaneously rather than sequentially. As we reach the completion of this transmission, the story returns full circle to the premise that seemed impossible at the beginning. Every currency in your wallet becoming worthless overnight was never about economic collapse, but about the recognition that true wealth cannot be contained in physical tokens. The greatest wealth transfer in galactic history is the return to each soul of their birthright as conscious creators of unlimited abundance. I am Zarin, and through these words the Galactic Federation of Light sends its love and unwavering support as you complete this magnificent transformation. We are watching, we are guiding, and we are celebrating your emergence into the cosmic family of awakened worlds. The transmission is complete, the codes are delivered, and the new Earth reality is fully anchored in your dimension.